What's up, everybody? It is the Best Podcast Move, and today I'm reviewing Watch Dogs Legion. Gotta say, thank you to Ubisoft for sending out a review copy. I know it's been a long while for me to do this. I've done live streams, I've done preview coverage, impressions, and you guys see me tweet about this game pretty much for over a week now. And for the most part, I did enjoy it. But let's talk about what we're getting into in this experience. So Watch Dogs Legion takes place in London in a pretty modified version of it, but they did do a good job. They picked an awesome city with so many people around, so many structures to take advantage of. Now this game is being the gameplay you're seeing is running on an Xbox One X. I did not have access to an Xbox Series X to play the next gen version, but I will say the game on current gen does look awesome. It does perform well as well. The thing about this game that kind of sets it apart from the previous Watch Dogs games is that it is you're not playing as a main protagonist. They tried with the first game with Aiden Pierce, and he didn't have like favorable reviews as a main protagonist. And then they tried, I think the guy's name was Marcus, and he was even worse than Aiden. So this time around with Watch Dogs Legion, what they did was put players in the open sandbox and let them discover who their next favorite player is going to be, or who they want to play, how they want to play, with allowing you to recruit any NPC pretty much in London, whether it be a construction worker, a cop, a bum off the street, or or just a regular Joe Schmo, or the average person working at a bank. All come equipped with different special abilities that they can do to enhance the gameplay. Now with that, since you have pretty much you're recruiting an entire team that you can just keep swapping in between throughout the gameplay, you're not really upgrading or maxing any characters out. In fact, you're working with an inventory of items, of gadgets that you could max out, that all your players would have access to, and which is kind of the best way to do it. Now with this, there's not going to be a whole lot of focus on voice acting. The voice acting isn't the best of this game. Sometimes it works great with certain characters, just not with all. So you'll find yourself finding things that sound kind of awkward or strange and whatnot. The gameplay loop, though I found fun in this game, it does, honestly, it can get old. And with the game like Watch Dogs Legion, running you anywhere from 25 to 40 hours, you can find yourself getting bored. They try to mix it up with different mission structures, but they all become, run, clear out an area, hack this, hack that, escape the area. It's kind of a rinse, repeat kind of mission structure, and it does get old. And during my first maybe day or so with the game, I found it fun and switching different characters to get through different missions. I did find the objective to be pretty much the same over and over again, which can stale the gameplay a little bit. Now, with that being said, it does allow you to tackle these missions differently with all the gadgets you get and the things you max out, whether you want to use a drone. Some missions can be done without you stepping foot in a building. You get these spiders, these robo spiders that can do special things, these drones that can hack into things for you. Or if you hire an op, that's, let's say, the one thing about this game, they don't have cops, they have sort of privatized police, and they're called Albion. So instead of somebody working from for the police department, they work for Albion, and Albion's really the ones policing the area. If you recruit a couple of those guards, you're gonna have a lot of missions where you're dealing with Albion, and playing as them really makes those missions more interesting, because more of a stealth playthrough. It's more not being caught by other Albions. They're not gonna automatically chase you because you're unfamiliar. They'll look your direction, and the more strange things you do, the more they alert, and then they'll figure it out that you're rogue. But it does change up the gameplay and some of the missions, changing it up and it allowed me to go through different missions different ways, but it didn't change really the concept or the objective of what you had to do. Yeah, some of the boss fights were very interesting, and some of the hacking puzzles that you had to do, they did do a good job with it to add a challenge to the game. Watch Dogs Legion does have an option for you to play with Permadeath, and I think the game was meant for you to play with Permadeath. And obviously with Permadeath, if you lose an operative, you lose them for good. Me, I wasn't really ready about that life, but if you play without Permadeath, you do still lose access to your characters when they die or when they're arrested. You'll lose them due to things such as injury. You'll lose them due to things such as like kidnappings. You'll lose them due to things like being arrested. And when that happens to your character in the middle of a mission, there's a cooldown. You have to wait. You have to obviously play with somebody else to either continue that mission, and then while that person's recovering, or the cooldown, there's a cooldown that lasts anywhere from 25 minutes to an hour, depending. And these are real-time minutes that you're without these characters when you lose them in a mission. You can recruit other players or other users like lawyers and paramedics in the game to reduce those times, those arrest times and whatnot, and that adds a lot of intrigue and fun to the game. The game has a whole lot of replay value, and that replay value consists of really the side missions and clearing out the cities and all the recruitments. Every time you recruit someone, you don't recruit them for free. It's like you want them to join your team, you got to do something for them, and that consists of some sort of a mini mission to get their approval, and you add them to your team. And I think I finished the game with about maybe nearly 30 operatives on my team, and I probably only used maybe 7 of them. And that's sort of my rotation. And I had a good time with this game. The game has a lot of replayability because once you beat the main storyline, there's a lot of side projects that do little jobs, other achievements to unlock. They're a little bit mundane, but there's stuff to do. We also know that this game has an online mode that will be launching later. It was not available at the time of this review, and from what I know, it's not available now. And then we know that there will be story DLC content coming, and we will, finally get to play as Aiden Pierce again. I gotta say to you guys, I was very impressed with Watch Dogs. I felt like this game was a sleeper hit in terms of me playing it. Every time I haven't put it down, I played it maybe 6 days straight. I had fun with it, despite, like I said, my issues with some of the missions being the gameplay loop being very, very repetitive and of what you're doing. It could get boring for those who aren't into that stuff, but I thought it was pretty interesting. I had a lot more fun with this game than I thought I would. I love, breaking into, some of these places and doing different things, hacking things and using different characters and, exposing things, making cars move. There's a lot of things done in this game. Now, being that I was playing on the Xbox One X, I did experience, different like judders, screen tearing and whatnot. The performance wasn't perfect. The game, like I said, I admit it does look good. Earlier, before they patched it, there was crashes, but I'm pretty sure at the time of this review, it has been fixed. I spent maybe about like 30 hours on a game, and I'm still not 110% finished with it. And when I say I'm not finished yet, I beat the main storyline. There's obviously a ton of side quests to do. And people ask me if I would recommend this game. I definitely will recommend this game. If I had to put a score on this game, Watch Dogs Legion would definitely be an 8 out of 10. And it's honestly one of my favorite games of the year, right behind, The Last of Us Part 2. So I do recommend, though, being that the game is about maybe a week or so old. Next gen is right around the corner. This would be an awesome pickup for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, especially with the ray tracing implementations and stable frame rates and a visual upgrade. Fortunately, it's still going to be 30 frames per second, but honestly, it's worth a playthrough. I'm probably going to play through the main game again with Permadeath, but if I don't do that, I still have a lot of stuff to clean up that I can experience in ray tracing the next gen. So please, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Hope you guys will enjoy the game. If you haven't picked it up again, it's Watch Dogs Legion. I definitely recommend this game. 8 out of 10. As always, thank you for watching. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'm out of here. Peace.